are watching on Zoom, great. But I stream live to YouTube. This morning I took a little extra time to get on for some reason to YouTube. It's actually setting up my meeting right now. The title for this morning's meeting is your number one asset in life. Number one asset in life. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be teaching about and how it relates to Valara. It's something that the Lord put on my heart as a minister. And so I want to share it with you guys here. First shot of it. So good. I'm live on YouTube. Let me just minimize this, make sure I'm muted. So title of today's meeting is number one asset. Got it. Good. Finally got everything set up. Everything seems to be running good. I can eliminate some stuff here and there we go. So welcome to our Monday morning Valara Zoom. I'm going to go ahead and mute you out there. If you have team members, go ahead and send them a message to jump on board. Like I said, we are live on YouTube right now. I'm going to see if I can actually send out a link to it. If I can, I can. If I can't, that's fine too. But here we are. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share. Copy the link. I'm going to stick it in the Signal page. So here's the link to today's message. Yeah. Number one asset in life. Hopefully I spelled everything right. Okay, so first of all, before I get started, I wanted to share a couple testimonies. Last week I trained about, getting people on board with the free subscribe and save and join program. So now they changed the name of it. It's like a bunch of free. It's like the free, pain-free, risk-free, subscribe and save for free program that Mike Jackson renamed. We used to call it subscribe and save and join. I like that name. It doesn't really make any difference what you call it. What makes a difference is if you use it or not, right? And so what I realized is Christine and I are really on a mission to win the trip to Copenhagen and to Denmark or wherever the heck they're going, Sweden. And anyways, I've never been there before. And I really wanted to go. We love the Vail trip. So I said, hey, what does it take to win this trip? All right. Well, there's one side of it that's really kind of out of your hands, and that's your TQV, your team qualifying volume, which for us is very, very high because it has to be over what we did last year. Okay. So it's a strategy game now because it's like, man, we did really good last year. Now we have to not only do what we did last year in TQV, we have to do above and beyond. So that side of it's 100% literally out of your hands because it's about your team and your team qualifying volume. So now it's a whole nother ball game, right? But there is a point for if you sponsor 5 people in for free on the subscribe and save and join for free, 5 gets you 1 point per month. So I said, that's it. I mean, if I can get between now and the end of the year, I looked at my points and said, okay, if I can get the TQV side done, that's 25 points. So let's just eliminate that and go for 25. So that means now I think I just checked my numbers and we're at 15 points. Already accumulated 15. So that means between now and the end of the year, I have to come up with 10. So that's August, September, October, November, and December. That's 5 more months. Okay. So if I can bring on 5 new people a month on for free, and they can come in as a customer or they could come in as a rep. Okay. So, but 5 will get you a point. So there goes 5 of my, that puts me at 20. Okay. So now I would need 5 more points to get to 25, and then I got to pray that my TQV hits whatever my number is, like 210,000 or something. It's bigger than whatever. So then I say, okay, great. As long as my team averages 10 to 12,000 points a month between now and the end of the year. But my side of it, what can I personally do? So I looked at it, I said, okay, well, let's at least get the 5 subscribe and save and joins. And the way it works is, let's say you get 5 this month, they get the free one. If they stay on the second month, that those points carry over. So let's say out of the 5, 3 carry over, then you really only need 2 in the next month. Okay. And then out of those 2, you'd have to get 3 more for the next month. So it's a strategy. It's a game. So you remember, you get the first month and the second month if they stay on. If they cancel, you don't get them. You only get the 1 month. So my testimony is that last month we got 6 in because one of them I wasn't sure was going to count or not. And so I said, all right, let's grab one more last minute. So we made a few last minute phone calls. And at this point, guys, if there's somebody you think down the road, like I had a guy who's a network marketer, he's in like other businesses, he's always calling me with opportunities and ideas and things, ways to make extra money. And so when he called me last week, he's like, Mark, I got this way you can make extra money. And he's like, are you still selling those air machines? I said, absolutely. And then he's like, well, I got this way you can make extra money, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I tell you what, I said, you send me your deal, I'll take a look at it. But what I need you to do is I'm going to send you a sheet. I need you to fill it out and mail it in or email it in to become my customer for free. Okay. You're going to get Ketone Zone, or you're going to get, Resist, or you're going to get Essentials for Life, but I need this from you. Okay. And he says, yeah, sure, Mark. He goes, if it's free and there's no strings attached, I'll do it. And he goes, how do you cancel? I said, look, you're filling out all your own information on it. It tells you right there how to do it. So I went to my back office, I grabbed the form and I emailed it to him. And within an hour, I got an email from corporate that I got a new customer and that they're on a subscription. Okay. And I just saw his order posted this morning. So that he put it in. So then I had another friend who was skeptical. Like he's like, oh, Mark, I hate to I don't want to join anything. I don't want to give you my social security number. I don't want to do the business. I get roped into these free offers all the time. And I never, so I was like, hey, same thing. I said, don't worry about becoming a consultant. I don't want you to become a consultant because I can save that for later on. You understand, like a big part of our bonus structure is fast start money, right? So in order to get a car bonus, in order to get bonuses, you need to have so much of your volume come from fresh people. So let's just say I'm trying to get the point, and like I had to put one person in last minute of the month, and I put them in as a consultant. Well, you only get them as a fast start for the first 2 months. And if that person wasn't serious about growing their business, then I just wasted a spot, right? But if it's like your mother-in-law or somebody like that, just enough, whatever it takes to get it done, who's never ever going to work the business anyway. So in those cases, it's really no harm, no foul. But if it's somebody you think down the road, this person could potentially be a rep, get them in as a customer on Subscribe and Save and Join. You can't do it automatically. You have to fill the form out. But what I've said is, look, I'm just going to email you this form. And then, so I did, I emailed him the form, and what I wanted was him to fill it out to the best of his ability, send it back to me, then I would finish it. But sure enough, within, I'd say an hour of me sending it to him, I get a message, hey, what's your ID number? So I knew, oh, great, he's filling it out. And he filled it out and sent it in. So that was my first one. We got that on August 1st. Then we signed a new person, I believe. And they came in on a free subscribing. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. It was opportunity. Where's your opportunities at? So, we just bought a house, and I said, well, we live in Florida. There's bugs in Florida. Just preventative measures. We should get, get a, what do you call it, exterminator or whatever, come out and do treatments, right? I mean, we had an apartment here. They did that for us. So now that we own, you have to get it on your own. So anyways, we called and we had these two guys come out, and they really well, versed salespeople. And also, Christina just texted me something. Christina, you texted me something? That's I have no idea what that means. But anyways, one T on asset. Oh, okay, sorry. I put 2 T's on asset. Maybe I put a swear word on there this morning. I was writing it fast. So anyways, I'll go in and fix it in a little bit. It'll make you look, okay? But anyways, what she said was I spelled asset with 2 T's instead of 1. But I appreciate you texting me in the middle of the call. So anyways, these guys come, they're really well versed, and Christina and I were talking to them, and they, obviously they see our Air and Surface Pro. We had the big Plus on top of our refrigerator, the new one, the XL, not the Plus, but the XL. And they noticed it because they were doing like an inspection, walking around. And so Christina makes small talk with these guys, and then one of them shows interest in making extra money. And I talked with him on Saturday, and he joined with a free subscription, and he wants to, to build a business. Okay, so that's number 2. And then who was the third one? Oh yeah, then we had another one, that friend of mine. So that was three already. So now we've had three people come in already this month. So we've had three come in on the subscribe and save and join package. So guys, look, it's free. It's free, no strings attached. Okay. So I'll just share with you, when we started in Vollara, well, I didn't know what I was doing at all, knew nothing at all about the compensation plan, didn't know anything about how to make money. And all I knew was I'm going to recruit people. Okay. And back in those days, which, was how things were until like a month ago, back in those days, when we would do this, we did risk-free option. So everybody joined me risk-free. I made $9 my very first month, and that's a fact. I could show you my commission statements. And in fact, I was going through my calendar yesterday, and it wasn't until January that I sold my first 3 units retail. And then people started to buy packs, and we made a bunch of money. But my first month, we put 12 people in our business on risk-free. And I think some of you guys, I think maybe Dave was one of them, and Andrew was one of them, and I believe Sajid was my first one, and I had a few others. But either way, 12 people got excited, called, you should join, came in risk-free. Some came, I don't think anybody came in on a pack in the beginning. So think about this. If you do that exact same thing that I did, month number 1, we put 12 in, month number 2, we put 12 or 13 people in. But month number 1, I made $9. Month number 2, we made 9,000. What changed was the volume of people on my team. Okay, the more people came on my team, the more opportunity there was for people to come in on packs, for people to buy technology, for people to get excited about air, water, and laundry. But now you take it to a whole nother level, because before nobody started on vitamins. Nobody. In fact, I would tell them, look, when you go to join, it's going to say risk-free, it's going to say nutrition, and it's going to say technology. Just ignore the whole nutrition thing. You don't need that. You can use that for points. That's what I looked at it was. Get a Recoup. It's the cheapest thing you can buy. And, but get active. Now what corporate's doing is they're giving these people one of 4 of the best that we have, right? So you have Ketone Zone, Revive, Resist, and Essentials for Life. And so if somebody's serious about it, I say you really, really should consider Essentials for Life. Get it for free for the first month. But here's the deal. In order to get paid on your team activity, which you may have some team activity, especially if you start sharing this free stuff with other people, in order to get paid on your team, you need to be either have 100 points or have a subscription. And the free one counts. So why not just stay on it? Get your first month's free, stay on it for 6 months. This way you're completely active. You don't have to worry about rushing in points at the last minute for the first 6 months. So you're covered. Now imagine if for 6 months, your brand new consultant was on Essentials for Life, or on Ketone Zone, or on Resist for 6 months. What happens is now it becomes a part of their lifestyle. Because I literally, like, when we run out of Essentials for Life, and I'm thinking like, well, Christine's like, Mark, you got to order Essentials for Life. And I'm like, well, but it's 4 days to the end of the month and I need points next month. So I'm just going to hold off. And you go like a week without Essentials for Life. Believe me, you notice it. You feel it in your body. So, if I'm on a diet, if I'm trying to cut weight, I'll try to use Ketone Zone. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, especially when we travel, like when we're out of the country and you're running, like we run, like as hard as we run. Ketone Zone is like crucial for your energy and your clarity of thought. But then there's also times where, like, if I'm on a 500 calorie diet and I'm in ketosis anyway, then, what difference does it make if I do keto zones or not, right? Because my body is already firing in ketosis. So maybe I don't need it. But I do need Essentials for Life with every meal. I do need Resist, even this time of year, like Florida in summer is like Pennsylvania in the winter. Everybody's indoors. So, now's the time for people to get sick. And it's hot. So, I mean, you go from 110 degree, feels like 110, and then you go back inside where it's, 65 degrees on air conditioning. And you do that 3, 4, 5 times a day, it takes a toll on people, right? But if you're on Resist, I'm not getting sick. People around me are getting sick, but I'm not getting sick, right? So what's the difference? Well, my immune system's boosted up, right? I've taken preventative measures. And yes, I'm getting a call. Okay. So I'm taking preventative measures. I'm taking steps to make sure that I'm that I'm covered, right? So anyway, so just rewind back to when you very first started in the business. If everybody would have came in and gotten this muscle memory of taking these vitamins on a monthly basis, and that they just had to have it, right? Think about now, like what your business would look like today. Just look at your numbers. I mean, some of you don't have a huge team, like we have a big team. But take your numbers and let's say you have 1,000 people on your team, 500 people, 800 people, 200 people, 100 people. Take that times 40 points and see what type of volume you'd be bringing in on a monthly basis now if we would have started a program like this 2 years ago, right? I mean, it'll blow your mind if you have a big team. For us, it's like, I mean, it's a lot of points. So, I mean, I've done this before. But anyway, so that's something to think about. And really all you're doing is you're doing people a favor, right? You're doing people a favor. So let me get to the point of my meeting today. That was all just my testimony. So we did, I think, 6 people last month. We've got 3 in this month. So it's 9 people so far, and it's only the 7th of August. So I'm pushing for 5 new people, subscribe and save and join every month between now and the end of the year. I'm also going to push for 1 healthy home show that I sponsor. So we're reaching out because I can't host one again, right? I've already hosted one. If you've hosted one, you've hosted one, but you could sponsor one. So what's that mean is I don't care if you're on my team, not on my team, whatever. If you're my first level, 25th level, if you want to do an HHS where I come and I do it for you, and you're in the Florida area at this time, or if, let's say you're not, let's say you're in Pennsylvania and you want to do it virtually, I'll come on, we'll do it on a Zoom. You can get your guest on a Zoom, and we'll do it. Because if I can sponsor 1 qualifying HHS a month between now and the end of the year, that'd be an extra 6 points or 5 points, which would put us at our 25. That's all I need, right? I'm at 15 now. If I get 5 with the one and 5 with the other, that's 10, that's 25. And then it's just waiting on my TQV to hit, right? So we're open for it. You guys need to be open for it. Don't think that, well, it's, I'm never going to win this trip, Mark, because it's already 6 months in, and I looked at my back office and I don't have enough points. Let me tell you something. It's based on last year's numbers. Okay. So if last year, I think you have to do like 20% more in your TQV to get 25 points. So let's just say last year you had an average year in your TQV. Maybe you were a gold. And so a lot of, whatever, but let's just say your TQV was 60,000 points, right? Your total year, 60,000. And you have to do 20% more. So what is that? 75,000 points or something. You can do it between now and the end of the year. You just take the numbers. Like I have to do that much still or more between now and the end of the year to get to my goal. So if I can do it, you can definitely do it. And then you make a plan. You say, okay, look, I can pick up 10 more points by doing an HHS every month and signing 5 people between now and the end of the year. But you've got to move today. You've got to move. You can't wait. Okay, so if you start with that mindset, okay, I can pull in 10 points from there, then where's the other 15 points coming from? Well, maybe at your HHSs, when people are joining your business, they're coming in on a pack because you get 1 point for every person who joins on a pack. And then if they buy a pack after that, you get another point. If they buy another pack, you get another point. And guess what? It's not just for the new XLs, it's for either packs. So somebody could join with a 3-pack. That's a point. So you know what that means? That means if I can't get these 10 points, that means that I have to hedge my bets by sponsoring more people with packs. No, I'm not going to do 5 packs. I mean, I'm not going to go out and just try to make money. But what I'm going to do, I mean, it's part of it. But I do like the Pro Pack. So if I have somebody who's interested in a few items, I'm going to move them to a pack. Just like with Janet, like Janet, if you had somebody interested in 2 units, we're going to transition over to a 3-pack. For you, it's not for me, it's for you. You get bonuses and overrides, but you also get that point. And there's nothing better than being on a trip together at the end of a year. Like when we went to Vail, it was a great experience. And the friendships you make are lasting friendships. And let me tell you something, the level of belief should go up for you. The level of understanding of what this company puts out for us is huge. Okay. But anyways, I got off on a rabbit trail. Okay, it's 11:24. So anyways, my title for today is your number one asset with 2 T's. So it's asset, and I emphasize the double T because it's team and team and time. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, I was thinking about this the other day, and what's your number one asset? Well, this is something that's lost on young people today. So if you're young, you're millennial or whatever the heck they call people in this generation, people have lost what I'm going to share with you. They've lost it. And for those of us who are older, we get it. I think most of us get it. And at least this is the way I was raised. And I think really what it boils down to is your number one asset, the number one thing. If you want to make a bunch of money, you want to start businesses, you want to help people, you want to be in ministry, you want to be in whatever it is that God's called you to do, whatever your passion is in life, it boils down to this, right? Your number one asset is not your car, right? Your number one asset is not your house. Your number one asset is not all the gold you bought during the pandemic, or it's not toilet paper. It's not, you go down the list. What do people consider an asset, right? It's none of those things. It's not how much money is in your bank account. What your number one asset is, and this is what a lot of young people forget, is your relationships. Number one, first and foremost, is your relationships, right? Your network is your net worth. The bigger your network is, the bigger your sphere of influence is, the bigger your potential net worth is. You understand, having equity in a person is far greater than having equity with a banker. Oh, I have equity in my house. That's great. And it's a set number. So let's just say, you over the years you've acquired, your house is paid off, and now my house is worth $200,000. I have $200,000 in equity. Okay, great. That's it. That's all you got. Okay. And it doesn't work unless you cash it out. When you have equity in a person, it's unlimited what could potentially come out of it. Unlimited. Okay. And so nowadays, what people want to do is they want to make the upfront money on you, right? And I see it all the time. And hey, look, I'm all for, I do consulting. If somebody needs help, I do a lot of consulting for people starting small businesses. And but I don't ever, like, for me, maybe I'm stupid because I don't charge a bunch of money for it. Obviously, like, I feel for people because I've been where they're at. I've been the guy with $0 in the bank, with a big dream and ambitions, and said, man, I want to start a restaurant, but I have no money. Can you help me? And somebody had to come alongside me. Somebody had to co-sign on a loan. Somebody had to, to believe in me. Somebody had to front me the food and the equipment and things like that so that I could start, right? When I started my tiramisu business, the first go around, my landlord, we found an amazing landlord. And I said to her, listen, I can't afford to put flooring in this building. I can't afford to put sinks and to make it the way I need it. But if you do it, you'll make it on the back end. And I said, I also can't afford to pay you rent for the first 4 months. And when you find somebody who's willing to partner with you like that, that takes you to places that you could never have gone before. So what happens is when you do somebody a favor, there's a chance that down the road, they're going to need a favor back, and you have to be there for that person. That's the way I built my life. That's the way I built my career. That's the way I built all my businesses, is literally by I'm going to bless people. I'm going to take care of people. I'm going to help people. I'm not looking for somebody to become my paycheck. I'm not just looking for somebody to buy a pack so I can get paid. No, if look, and a lot of you guys are in my business, and when you went to join, I talked you out of buying packs. Oh, Mark, I'm coming on with a 5-pack. And I say, why? Why do you want to do that for? Do you have 5 people that are ready to buy? Are you going to go out and you're going to show 5 people? I had a lady the other day who joined. She wanted to join with a 5-pack. And I said, I think we talked her into a pro pack. because it's not about making if it was just about making money, I'd be like, yeah, sure, go for it. Get five of the XLs, because then I get paid $800 and who cares what happens to you? I don't care. That's not how I operate. To me, it's about putting equity into the person, right? So it's like, I want to build a massive business. Okay, great. Then you need to build your relationships with people. You need to pour into people. You need to help people. I had a guy who said he wanted to help me out. No, actually, I reached out to a friend. I said, I'm really working on my social media. I got on this kick. Because a friend of mine said, I don't like your website. You need to work on it. I said, okay. They didn't like a lot of stuff, right? Oh, you need to work on your social media. Okay, good, cool. And so I'm reaching out. Hey, who do you know who knows somebody who's really good at social media? And this guy's like, oh, call my friend. He's my best friend. He'll help you. So I thought, okay. So I called this guy. He supposedly knows what he's doing. He's got tons of followers on YouTube and stuff like that. So I reached out to the guy, and he wants to charge me $3,000 for his time. That's upfront. That's a one-time deal. Guess what? If I pay this guy $3,000, then that's it. He'll never get anything from me ever again. He gets my $3,000 and that's it, period. But I told him, I said, I don't work like that. Here's the problem. The problem is I was referred to you by a friend who said that you would help me. I'm not going to pay you $3,000 to help me. Not that I don't value what you have, because maybe what he has is worth that. And if I was just a customer on the street, then fine. But when I'm a referral from a friend, things are a little bit different, in my opinion, right? And so I told him, no, I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pay you $3,000. And as far as I'm concerned, his stock went way down in my book, because if he's looking at me as a price tag, well, I'm going to make $3,000 off you. You can join my coaching program and I'll teach you how to do it. No, I don't want to do that. And like, I got nothing wrong with coaches, and I got nothing wrong with consultants and things like that. If there's true value in it, great. If I'm going to spend hours and hours and hours and hours of time working with somebody, 90% of the time I do it for free. And I think, well, like, hey, if you feel like blessing me down the road, great, go for it. 90% of people won't. But you know what? There's always that time where I absolutely need help on something, and I have equity in that person. And I can call that person up and say, hey, listen, I need your help. Like right now, I need your help. What is it? Just like I did with this guy the other day, right? He's always sending me stuff and I'm always looking at it, right? Hey, check out this business, Mark. Okay, I'll check it out. Some of them I join, some of them I don't join. Some things I think are stupid. Some things I think are great, right? But I'm an entrepreneur. If you send something my way, I'm gonna take a look at it. And if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. And a lot of times people are like, oh, Mark, you got to look at this. You got to look at my prepaid legal business. Well, that's great. But I looked at it 8 years ago. I'm not interested. And I already know that I'm not interested. So I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste my time, right? Some things are already predetermined that I'm not going to do because I've already looked at it. But let's just say it's something I've never seen before and you send it my way. I said, okay, I'll take a look, right? So I've done this for this guy over and over and over again. So guess what? Now I needed a favor. And he's calling me again. Can you help me out? Sure, I'll help you out. I'll always help you out. Okay, great. And I said, but you know what? Here's the deal. I'm going to do this for you. But as a result, what I need you to do is fill out this form and send it in. And it's no questions asked. Okay, if that's what you need, I'll do it for you. See, my number one asset is not anything that's physical. My number one asset is the equity I've built into people. And I don't do it for that gain. You don't do it with that in mind. You just pour out to people. The Bible says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Right? It's like, that's one of the greatest commandments, right? Love your neighbor as yourself. So if I put my neighbor in the same boat as me, most of us, they love yourselves and you could care less about your neighbor. Most people are like that, right? Who cares about my neighbor? If your neighbor was pushing his car up the road, you would just honk the horn and keep on driving, right? So that's human nature now. We live in a messed up world. But the Bible goes back to love your neighbor as yourself. And he also says, it says, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. So guess what? If you build other people, if you build up other people around you, if you help other people, if you put their paycheck ahead of your paycheck, there's going to come a day where you need them for something and you have equity in the people. And listen, guys, don't overspend your friend equity. Don't overspend it. Okay, because there's a lot of people who abuse it. They'll abuse it. And especially network marketers, because they join a business every 2 weeks because they're quitters in nature. I mean, and by human nature, most network marketers are natural born quitters. Okay. And I don't know why they continue. They're great at joining, but they quit. And I've grown up in this industry my whole life, and it used to frustrate me. It used to like drive me crazy that, man, all these people have so much potential and they just quit. They gave up. They got offended, or this happened and they quit. In the beginning, I took it very personal. And now it's like after 25 years of being in the industry, you just understand it happens, right? Because I think that most network marketers are natural born quitters. I think that they're looking for a quick fix. They want to make a bunch of money. They want to jump into something. And then like, oh my God, I can, all I have to do is wear a patch for 24 hours and I'll get younger. All I have to do is take a pill and this is going to happen. All I have to do is rub this on my forehead once a month and my hair comes back. No, that they want a quick fix. But when you say, wow, you know what, this is a real direct sales business, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, I have to work. Wait a minute, I have to do a trade show. Wait a minute, you want me to buy inventory? Wait a minute, you want me to, it's not going to be some guarantee, thing where like, I'm just going to join with a 5-pack. I'm going to make tons of money. And then guess what? They quit, right? So if most people are like that, what they'll do is they'll abuse their friend equity in people. So they'll every 2 weeks, hey, Dave, can you join this business with me? Oh man, Mark, you showed me a business last week. Hey, Dave, I found the latest and greatest drug that'll, whatever. No, Mark, and eventually people shut you down. That's why they call it the NFL, right? No friends left in network marketing. We're in the NFL. I have no friends left because they abuse their friend equity. Where for me, I don't do that. Listen, if I ever call you with an opportunity, you better believe it's a good one. That I've taken my time, that I've done my due diligence, that I've actually worked it, that I've actually made some money with it, or I really, really believe in it. Like when we did Valar, it was 6 months of vetting before we actually landed on Valar. So when I made those first few phone calls, everybody knew in my inner circle knew that I was working on a project. Everybody knew. And I say, guys, just wait. Something big's coming. I just need some time to work this thing out. And when it hit and the people recognized it, that wait a minute, this is real. And they jumped on board with us. They knew. And let me tell you something, friend equity, because of the way Christine and I built all of our businesses like that, it's never been about ourselves, ever. And listen, we used to be when I was in my other businesses, there were leaders who made livings, like literally, I mean, I swear it's like how they made a living on doing meetings. Oh man, we're having a training next Tuesday. It's $25 a person to come. We're having a training next Friday. It's $50 a person to come. And all you're doing, hey, if you want, like we're going to sell you magazines and we're going to sell you training packets and we're going to sell you this book and that book and the other book and this thing and that thing and the other thing. And all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, you're making all this money just because of training me, and I'm not making anything at all. It's an abuse of that friend equity thing. Here's my thing is like when I made labels for my business, if it cost me, let's say, for example, to do a label, because I have to get them made. I had to buy the template. I had to make the plate. I had to buy rolls of 1,000. And so I knew, okay, a label, and I would lay it all out and say, okay, a label costs me, let's say 50 cents per label out the door. That's my cost. Well, I'm going to sell it to you for $1 or for 75 cents. Why? Because I got to ship it to you. Okay. I didn't say, well, it's $3 a label because I need to make money. I don't want to make money on that. I want to make money on the fact that you're in my business and you're actually producing results for me, right? So don't abuse your friend equity. And when you build your business like that and you get a reputation for that, guess what? Then people are going to be looking for you. They're going to seek you out. they're gonna be calling people saying, hey, how do I get a hold of Andrew? Because I heard he's in a new business and I want to be a part of what he's doing. I don't know what it is, but I just know that everything he does is good. He's a great leader, and I just want to be a part of what he's into. If you abuse your friend equity, it'll be the opposite. You could say, oh man, I heard Andrew's in some business, and be like, yeah, well, not really interested in being a part of what he's doing because I was with him in the last venture and all he did was keep himself ahead of everyone else, right? That's why you don't abuse it. That's why your number one asset should always be your relationships. If you put relationships ahead of your paycheck, then your paycheck will quickly follow behind. We're not in the business of selling air sanitizers, guys. It's not what we do. We're not in the business of selling alkaline water and laundry pure and vitamins. We're in a relationship business. They call this relationship marketing. It's relationship. I can put anything in to this circle product wise and it'll work. Why? Because I'm not focused on the product. I'm focused on the relationships with the people around me. Listen, when somebody calls me and they say, and this is, I mean, it happened with one of my California people, got a big deal. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, you can actually make a lot more money if you restructure the way you're doing your deal. But it's going to cost me a lot of money. Now, if I didn't care about him, I would have said, hey, just keep moving the way you're moving because, I'm going to make a ton of money off this deal. But I didn't. And you could say, well, that's stupid because you could have made a bunch of money off of it. And are you in this business to lose money or make money? No, I'm in a business to make a relationship with somebody. Because once that happens the first time, because like when I figured out things on the comp plan, and I would reach out to my leaders and I'd say, hey, leaders, I just noticed that, there's a bonus on packs and I have two for sale. Maybe I should buy a 3-pack. Maybe I should sign the person and get a 3-pack, and then I make a $400 override or whatever. And I remember the first time I texted Mike about it, and Mike texted me back and he said, now you're getting it. And I was like, wow, this is great. Because if Mike didn't want me to know about it, he would have just said, oh, Mark, don't worry about all that. Just put the order in, just keep moving forward, wholesale to retail. You don't need to worry about making overrides and bonuses. You don't need to worry about this, that, and everything. No, but if you call me and you want advice, just so you know, because of my belief in relationships, I'm going to give you the advice that benefits you the most. 100%. But then there's been situations where I've had people call me and they'll say, oh, Mark, I'm 5,000 points away from gold this month. What should I do? Go out and sponsor people. But I think I should just buy 5,000 points and go gold. And I'll say, okay, let's run the numbers. It's going to cost you $8,000. Okay, so we'll write that out, about $8,000 to get to that 5,000 points out of your own pocket. Now you're gonna have tons of inventory. It's fine. It would actually benefit me if you did that. But your profit on that is going to say, let's just take 5,000 times 35%. And I do the numbers and I go, you're going to lose $4,000 or $5,000 this month if you do that. And yeah, you'll be a gold, but it won't be a real gold. Because guess what? In order to do it again, you have to buy it again. So if you want my opinion says don't do it. There's been people I've had to tell that to. And then there's been other folks that I've called and I'll say, hey, do you realize that you're a 3-pack away from making gold this month? Just the 3-pack. You've got your points in January, you got your points in February, and you're a 3-pack away. You have 3 active legs. You have everything you need, but you're 1 3-pack away from making gold this month. If you invest in a 3-pack under one of your team members, you're going to make gold this month. And you know what they've said? Oh, I don't want to do it. I just want to have them naturally. So I'm giving you the advice that hurts me, that helps you, right? And you choose at that point whether you're going to take the advice or don't take the advice. But guess what? That person never made gold. They could have been a platinum 2, never made gold, quit the business, did all this stuff. But if you could go back in time, and if they could, because what happens is people get abused, the relationships get abused so much that they think that I'm doing it to benefit myself and not to benefit them. That's human nature, because people have been abused in the relationship area so many times that they can't trust, right? And that's why I'm telling you, if you want to go forward, you've got to look at your relationships and you have to say, is this the best move for me? Or is it the best move for my team members? Right? And if you start to favor your people above yourself, then you're not going to have to constantly go out looking for brand new people. If your business is built on brand new people joining, you're building your business the wrong way. Right? So what you need to be doing is you need to be building wide and then building deep under your leaders. If my leaders check out on me, guess what? Like if they're gone, if I'm not seeing any personal volume, if I'm not seeing any team like them sponsoring, if I'm not seeing things like that, and they've checked out, I'm not bothering them. I'm not going to call them. I'm not going to do anything. I'm here. I'm here. Like if I'm in a race and it's a team race and one of my team members breaks down, I'm going to stay in the race and I'm going to encourage them from the racetrack. I'm not going to pull the car over, get out and be like, hey, what's the matter, buddy? You know, well, this race is so intense. I just can't take it. I want to sit on the sidelines for a while. No, you got to go. I won't do that. I stay in the race. I'm in the race. I lead from the front of the pack, but I'm going to lead as I'm driving. And every time I go around the track, I'm going to be like, hey, what are you doing? Jump on. Things are great. Get back in, get back in, get back in. So if you can lead your team like that, and then they realize, because most people got hurt, like this one example I just gave you, the people who could have been a platinum 2, quit the business and all that. I can't even think of the thousands of dollars that they threw away because they didn't want to spend $1,700 on a 3-pack. Threw away probably in the course of 2 years, $60,000, $70,000 in income. But somewhere along the line, somebody abused that personal relationship and it caused the problem the way they didn't trust somebody. So don't be that person, right? Don't be that person. Don't abuse your personal relationships. Cultivate them and just really, and don't do it for ulterior motives. People can see it, you know, like Christine and I, you know, we have a lot of things that we do and we're working on this project and I needed help. Right. So we're in a situation where I really need help. Like I've been working on a project for like 3 years. I really need help. And in my life, I've got like 4 of those things going on right now. Right. I got my book. I need help with it. Right. I need financial help with it because I need the finances to pay the person to help me to take it to the publishing company so that I can get a publishing deal. Right. I need help. I can't do it by myself. I need help. Right. So I'm waiting. Like I'm waiting. God, bring the right people next to me to help me. So there's a lot of things like that. So anyways, I'm on a phone we're working on a project for the last 3 or 4 years. We've been working on this project and it's stalled. Nothing's going on. So I said, man, we got this friend. Christine's like, oh, we should do a phone call with him because he's a huge, what do you call it? Has a big media company and he can help us big time. So we get on the phone with a guy and he's like, you know, it's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to help you to do what you want to do. How much do you have in your budget? And I said, I don't have anything in my budget. All I have is equity in a company that makes $0. Right? But because for the last 5 years, we've had a relationship with this person on a personal relation. It's a personal thing, right? Even though we only see him for a weekend a year. If even some years it's been a day or 4 hours. But it's relational. And then the person says, hey, I'll do it for you because I love you. Because I love you guys. I want to help you. I want to be a part of what you're doing. I can see it, right? That's called relationship equity. So that relationship equity was worth $100,000 in this situation. And because of what this person brings now into my life, could actually make him millions of dollars. And same with us and our other partners, right? So what you see is that, you know, if you take away the financial, like, look, the guy could be like, I want $100,000 and that's it. Case closed. Even like the lady helped me with the book, you know, she's going to make her money because she won't do it because she doesn't know me. She doesn't know who I am. She doesn't know nothing about me. And she's an A-lister, works with A-listers. And She's not going to help me for less than 20,000 bucks. Okay, that's fine. So if I can come up with a 20,000, and let's say I get a $400,000 signing bonus and my book sells 30 million copies, guess what? She made 20 grand. That's it. But if she understood the value of my relationship to realize, hey, wait a minute, if I partner with this guy, I could be a part of everything that he does in the future. How much greater is that? And this is the way we need to start operating. If you're looking for the quick fix, if you're looking for that, man, I got to make the $3,000 and you can join my program. No. There's a place for that. Believe me, there's a place for that. I mean, I've often thought about doing it, right? Because I spend so much time and hours and effort helping people that don't value it because there's no money attached to it. So there is 100%, there's a place in your life to charge for your knowledge, okay? But you do it as like a consultant, you set it up and it's case by case. How can it be a fixed number? You know, how can it be like, well, my consulting class is $1,000? Then how is it, how can you do that? Because it's different for every person. Maybe I only need $500 worth of what you got. Maybe somebody needs $4,000 of what you got. It should be built on a case by case. But if it's a cookie cutter program, then you're getting a cookie cutter class that, like, and I've done it. I paid $1,000 of Robert Kiyosaki whenever I was in Bible school because I was desperate, because he's going to teach me how to make money on the internet. So I spent $1,000. I went through all the training, learned all the courses. At the end of the day, I can make like a nickel on a sale. I mean, how many nickels you have to make your money back on $1,000 investment? You know who made $1,000 on that deal? Robert Kiyosaki. And he did it not just with me, but probably 400,000 other people that were desperate to make extra money. Okay. And that's literally what people do. It's about that one-time shot. But if it's a cookie cutter program, now if it would have been different. Let's just play the scenario. Let's just say Robert Kiyosaki is doing a consulting business, and he wants to, help you build your business. Okay, great. So then I get a one-on-one with Robert Kiyosaki, and he goes, hey, listen, Mark, in order to help you do what you want to do, it's going to cost $5 grand. Because I'm going to have to take some time. We're going to do a weekly phone call. We're going to have to, we're going to have to build it around your concept. And we're going to have to make sure that I'm here with you to make sure that you actually make some money. I'm going to put you first. And guess what? We'll figure it out. I'm coming up with $5,000. I'm going to pay the guy and I'm going to get a $5,000 value out of it. But because it was a cookie cutter program, there was pre-recorded classes and videos and things like that. There was no input. So I had to do exactly what they were teaching you. How to set up these clicks and do this and boom, boom, and set up advertising and become an affiliate and I thought, man, this is not like, there's nobody to turn to. There's no personal relationships here. It's all about, I gave him my $1,000 and he said, sayonara. And he took my 1,000 and invested in real estate or whatever he does. Right. And like I said, there's a place for that. But if you want to have true success, you got to stop focusing on the right now money and you have to start focusing on your relationships. Because if you put relationships above all, then everything else comes. It's like the Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God, and then all these things will be added unto you. It's the exact same thing. It's not about seeking first the castle, your personal castle, right? If you seek first your castle, then all these things will be added unto you. No, it's putting the kingdom first. It's taking yourself out of the equation. I'm not going to worry about me. I'm not going to worry about, and believe me, there's plenty to worry about. Look, we live in a messed up world, right? The economy's crazy. Gas prices are the highest they've ever been. Our president's brain dead. I mean, you can go down the list and boom, 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 boom. There's all kinds of issues going on right now, right? Donald Trump's getting indicted, If I just focused on that, then it's like, oh my gosh, you feel like you're in a whirlwind, right? But when you take yourself out of that, like the Bible says, if I seek first the kingdom first, if I put that above all things, well, okay, I'm gonna seek first the kingdom, then none of this stuff here really matters to me. Because then it's like the kids teacher was talking to the kids yesterday, then it becomes about eternity. If you put eternity first, right? So if eternity is number one, then you don't worry about the day-to-day stuff in life. Who cares, right? So in this business, if I take and I put my relationships first, people say, I want to grow my business. I need to grow my business to make more friends. What are networking groups? Networking groups are an opportunity for you to meet new people, to network with other people, to help them with their business. And in turn, they help you with your business and your business grows. That's what networking is. It's meeting as many people. How do you grow your business? Well, we grew ours by hiring an exterminator. Hire an exterminator, the guy joins your business. We've grown our business by sitting on a beach. We've grown our business by going to the swimming pool. We've grown our business by going out to dinner. We've grown our business by going to the mall. We've grown our business by going to Disneyland. We've or whatever. We've grown our business by doing life and making relationships and talking to people and getting to know people. And even if, let's just say you want to build your business through trade shows, great. But if you're in a trade show and you're in the back of the booth on your cell phone and just letting people walk by, you're not going to grow a business, right? Number one. Number two is if all you're doing is trying to sell the person, you're not going to grow your business. But if you stop and you genuinely have a conversation with people and you get to know the person and you ask them about their wants, needs, and desires, and then you tailor make the sale to fit them. If I'm doing door-to-door sales and all I'm looking for is I got to sell, 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 you're not going to sell. But if I go into somebody's home and I tailor make the need to fit their situation, I mean, I got a kid who's got asthma and allergies and this and everything, but you know what? We just can't afford to buy anything right now. We really want to do it. And I bought this HEPA filter at Aldi's and I got, blah, blah, blah. And you listen to the story. And then you tailor make your business to fit their need. That's where everything comes together. Because now I can just sit there and say, well, listen, forget about buying from me at wholesale or retail. Why don't you join my business? Why don't you come in? Why don't you host an HHS and earn the product for free? Because guess what? Now I put relationship ahead of my paycheck. And when you do that, your business goes to a whole nother level. And you go all the way to the top. You can't become a platinum 5 in this business without building strong relationships with people and having strong equity in people. But don't abuse the equity that you have in people. Don't do it, because then you'll get there once, you'll never get there ever again. And if this is the only thing you ever did and that's all you care about, then do it. But if you know that this is a lifetime commitment and you may need help from people down the road, don't burn the bridge today. Don't do it. Stay connected. I mean, you know what? When you have equity in people, you don't need money. When you have favor, you don't need money. You don't need it. I built almost every business I've ever started with zero in the bank, zero. My tiramisu business went from 1 customer to 17 states with no money. It was all relationships. It was all equity in people. It was all every bit of it. We can go down the line. Every bit of it. How we got into the National Food Distribution Company was because of a relationship that I built for years with a salesman at a company. How we got into 17 grocery stores was because of a relationship that Christina built with a lady who was the director of marketing or whatever for a grocery store chain. It was about relationships. How we got into our building was we built a relationship with our landlord. 100% relational. How we got in almost every restaurant we got into with our product was relational. It was caring about the people. It was talking to the people. It was being there for the people. It was supporting their businesses. That's why when we closed that company way back when, people cried. And even with our restaurant, when we were forced to close our restaurant, our staff were devastated, really. Because they loved the relationship that we built. It was about family. I worked with my team. I ate with my team. I cooked for my team. I served my people. So that's strong. And that's why it's your number 1 asset with 2 T's, not 1, with 2 T's. Asset with 2 T's in life. So anyways, guys, it's 12 noon. That's all I got for you today. It's going to be the replay will be posted on YouTube. If you missed the beginning and you want to jump on and rewatch, appreciate y'all coming on. If you need anything, let me know, let Christina know, and make yourself a goal between now and the end of the month. Here's the goal. And I want I'd like to get some testimonies next week. Your goal between now and next week is to try, or but even make it between now and next week, is to try to bring on a few people with the subscribe and save and join free package, either as a customer or as a rep, and to try to be a host of a HHS. If you guys can do that, your business is going to grow, your teams are going to explode, and this is going to be the greatest fall you've ever had. All right, guys, that's it for today. And I'm